The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th Canto, 1st Chapter, text number 55, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on August 13th, 1975, in London, England.
Purusha means enjoyer, and Prakriti means enjoyed. Or, in simple word, Purusha means male and Prakriti means female. So, this material world is called Prakriti, and the living entities who are struggling in this material world to enjoy it, they are called Purusha. Of course, Purusha is Krishna only. Purusha means enjoyer. Nobody is enjoyer, therefore nobody is Purusha. And in the Bhagavad Gita, the living entities have been described also as Prakriti. Aparayam itastu bhinnami Prakriti. Aparayam itastu bhinnami Prakriting para. Superior Prakriti, not Purusha. But because we are conditioned, we are under illusion, although we are Prakriti, we are thinking that we are Purusha. But actually we are not Purusha. We are also Prakriti. So, this living entity, on the false understanding of becoming a Purusha, they have come to this material world to enjoy the material nature. Krishna bhuliya jeev bhogavancha kare pasate maya tare japoti adhar. Just like a male and female, that movement is very strong now in America. The female wants to become male or equal rights. This is Maya. How woman can become equal with man? Of course, we are not going to study the social welfare activities or something like that, but Purusha and Prakriti, they are different. Purusha means enjoyer and Prakriti means enjoyed. So here, the Prakriti, this material nature, earth, water, air, fire, sky, mind, intelligence and ego, egotism, these are 8 material things. So in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Bhumi rapanalo vayu khangmano buddhirevacha bhinna prakriti me astudha. These are 8 kinds of material energy. Material energy is one, Mahatattva. But they have been divided. Mahatattva, when it is separated, just like some philosopher says there was a chunk and it became broken and the creation took place. This can be applicable, the Mahatattva, the total material energy, by when the 3 gunas break them, they become 24 elements. 5 material and 3 material subtle, and the 10 senses and the 10 object of senses. In this way 24 elements is become. So, we living entities, we are part and parcel of Krishna. just like fire and the small fragments of fire, sparks. Our position is like that. Or the sun and the small particles of shining elements combined together becomes the sunshine. The sunshine which we daily see, it is not a homogeneous mixture. There is molecules, very small shining particle. So we are like that. It's very small. As there are atoms, material atoms, nobody can count. Similarly, we are atomic sparks of God. How many we are, there is no counting. Asankha. Asankha means you cannot count. So many living entities. So we are very small particles. And we have come here in this material world, just like the Europeans especially, they go to other countries for colonizing, to use the material resources for their sense gratification. The America was discovered and the Europeans went there. The idea was to go there, and now they are trying to go to the moon planet to find out if there is any convenience. This is the tendency of the conditioned soul. So they have come to this material world. Krishna bhuliya jeev bhogavancha kare. When Purusha is bhokta, bhokta, Krishna is actually bhokta, bhoktaram jaggudabusam. So we are imitating Krishna. This is our position. Everyone is trying to become Krishna. The Mayavadis, although they have undergone penances, austerities, very strictly they follow the principles of spiritual life, but because they are under Maya, at the end they are thinking that I am God, Purusha. The same disease, Purusha. Purusha means Bhokta. That I am Krishna, Bhoktaram Jagata. And even after advancing so much by austerities, penances, following regulative principles, the Maya is so strong that still he is under this impression that I am Purusha. Not only ordinary Purusha, but the Supreme Purusha. As Krishna is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Parabrahma param dhamam pavitram paramam bhavan Purusham Shasata. You are Purusha. So, Maya is so strong that after being kicked so many lives, life after life, still is thinking, I am Purusha, I am enjoy. This is disease. Therefore here it is said that Esha prakriti sangena Purushasya viparjaya. His material life began from this conception that I am Purusha, I am enjoy. And because he cannot give up this idea that I am enjoyer, life after life is viparjaya, reverse condition. Reverse condition means because the living entity is part and parcel of God, and God is Satchidananda Vigraha, so we are also Satchidananda Vigraha, a small Satchidananda Vigraha, but our position is Prakriti, not Purusha. Both of them, there's a Radha and Krishna, they are of the same quality. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Alladini Shakti. They are one. But still, Radha is Prakriti and Krishna is Purusha. Similarly, we are, although part and parcel of Krishna, but we are Prakriti and Krishna is Purusha. So by falsely, when you think of becoming Purusha, this is called Maya or Viparya. That is stated here. Evam Prakriti Sangena Purusasya Viparya. Viparya means he is meant for actually enjoy with the Purusha. When the Purusha and Prakriti, male and female enjoy, they get the same pleasure, but one is Purusha, one is Prakriti. Similarly, Krishna is Purusha and we are Prakriti. If we enjoy Krishna, then the Ananda, Satchidananda is there. That we have forgotten. We want to be Purusha. So, somehow or other, this condition has come into existence. A false conception of becoming Purusha, enjoy. Then, what is the result? The result is that we are trying to be enjoyed, life after life, but we are being enjoyed. We are not enjoyed. We are simply struggling to become enjoyed. This is our position. So, how you can stop this struggling and come to your original position? That is stated here. Saeva nachirat isasangad viliyate. This false conception of life, that I am Purusha, it can be vanquished completely. How? Isasanga. By association with God. Isha. Isha means the Supreme Controller. Isasanga. So where is Isha? I cannot see Isha. I cannot see, even Krishna is Isha, the Supreme, but I cannot see. Now Krishna is there. You are blind. Why don't you see? Therefore you cannot see. So, you have to open your eyes, not close. That is the business of Guru. The Guru opens the eyes. Ajnanati mirandhasya jnananjana salakaya chakshur militam jena tasmai sri gurave. How Krishna opens the eyes? By jnananjana salakaya. Just like in the darkness we cannot see anything. But if there is matches or candle, the candle is ignited, then we can see. Similarly, Guru's business is to open the eyes. To open the eyes means to give him knowledge that you are not Purusha, you are Prakriti. Change your views. That is Krishna consciousness. When one is in his original position, that I am not Bhokta, Krishna is Bhokta. We are helping beings for enjoyment of Krishna. This is our actual position. This is Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Isha Sangha, by association with Bhagavan. So in this condition, I am so much fallen, how I can associate with Krishna? So, that is Isha Sangha. Isha is absolute. Everything has emanated from Isha, God. See, in that way, everything is Isha. There is nothing but Isha. But we haven't got the eyes to see. Antarvahi avasthita. Kunti said, my dear Krishna, you are situated outside and inside. Still we are so rascal, we cannot see you. We cannot see you. How we can see? Isha Sangat, association. Sangat Sanjate Kao. So, with whom associate? The Isha. That Isha means his name, his form, his attributes, his so many things, you see. Ram, Roop, Ras, everything is Isha. So, this temple means to give chance to people for associating with Isha, with Krishna. So, therefore, according to Vedic civilization, everyone is advised to go to the temple. Still, people are going to the church, to the temple, to the mosque, to the synagogue. Why? Isha Sangha. Isha Sangha. Just to associate with God. That is the purpose. So, if you actually search after Isha, Krishna or God, you can get it. There is arrangement. Just like this temple. This temple, if you come, if you make association with this temple, immediately you will be benefited by hearing the glories of the Lord, this every subject matter pertaining to God. We are reading Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, that is also Isha, because these are the words of Isha. Therefore, Isha being absolute, there is no difference between his words and he. Krishna 5,000 years ago, he spoke Bhagavad Gita. That Bhagavad Gita is the same Bhagavad Gita which he spoke 5,000 years ago. And it is not different from Krishna, because Krishna is absolute. Whatever his words, his form, his name, his quality, everything, his temple, his activities, his books, everything is Isha. So if we associate with all these things, Savanam Kirtanam Vishnu, hearing and chanting about Vishnu, then this misconception of life that I am Purusha will vanquish. Then you become liberated. Isha Sangha, believe it. So take chance of this Isha Sangha very vigorously. Tibrena Bhakti Yogena. That is a command. Anyone who is, there are two classes of men. One class of men, they are trying to enjoy this material world. Another class of men, they are rejecting Brahma Sattva Jagan Mithya, Mahabharata. They say we have no use for this material world. And the Kurmis, those who are rejecting, they are Gyanis. And those who are Kurmis, they want more material enjoyment, more money, more assets. The two classes. But a devotee is neither this class or that class. A devotee is neither Kurmi nor Jnani. Therefore bhakti means Jnana karmad anavritam. If one is involved in Jnana and karma, he cannot become bhakta. Bhakta means annavilasita sunnam Jnana karmad anavritam. The bhakta has nothing to do with this Jnana and Krishna and karma. Jnana means to understand. You understand simply that I am part and parcel of Krishna, and Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then your Jnana is full, your knowledge is full. These two words. The Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I am Krishna's part and parcel. If we realize these things only, then our Jnana, our knowledge is perfect. And then as soon as knowledge is perfect, then next is vairagya. Jnana vairagya juktaya. Two things required. But if you remain in the Jnana platform, do not come to the actual spiritual platform, then samayeva hi kevalam. It is simply Vaishnava. Jnana means to have knowledge. What knowledge? This knowledge that Krishna is the Supreme Person, Bhokta, Purusha, and we are just part and parcel of Krishna to fulfill the desire of Krishna. This is Jnana. Just like the hand is part and parcel of my body. So what is the duty of this hand? The duty is to fulfill the desire of the person. Similarly, we are part and parcel of God or Krishna. Our only business is to fulfill the desire of Krishna, not to fulfill our desire. That is not bhakti. That is jnana or karma. But fulfill the desire of Krishna, that is bhakti. Anukullena Krishnanu silanam bhakti uttama. This is first class bhakti. So, this philosophy is spoken by the Jamaduta that one has become conditioned on this false conception of life that I am Purusha, but this misconception can be vanquished. It is not very easy to vanquish, but it can be. How? Is a Sangha, associated with Krishna consciousness movement, and you will be able to give up this false misconception of life. Thank you very much.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th Canto, 1st Chapter, text number 61, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on August 28, 1975, in Vrindavan, India.
Vishwatam kamaliktena bahuna purilamita jagama vichaya avasam sahasaiva vimohita. So in the morning we can speak in Hindi for the foreign students, and in the evening there will be Hindi. Morning 7:30 to 8 or little more, similar in the So, we are talking about Ajani, who has a nice Brahmin boy executing the duties of a Brahmana. But one day, while he was passing, he saw one Shudra and one Shudran embracing, kissing, talking, laughing, all lusty affairs. So, it is mentioned here, Shudra, ekadasu manamjata pitri sandhi sapidvija आदाय तत्वावृत्त फलपुष्प समित कुशान जदर्श कामिनम कच्छित शूद्रम. This business on the public way, kissing, embracing, this is meant for the Shudra. Therefore, it is said, Kalu Shudra Sambhava. In the Kali Yuga, the population is all Shudra. There is no Brahminical culture. Brahminical culture means Sama, Lava, controlling the mind, controlling the senses. A real Brahmin will never agree to embrace the opposite sex in public way. No, that is not Brahmin. He has been trained out how to become controller of the mind, controller of the senses. That is the first business of a Brahmin. Sama, dama, satyam is truthful, shoucham, clean, Christ taking bath. So you should always, you are given the chance of becoming Brahmin. You should not become again Shudra or Mlechas or Chandalas. Bigger. It is Brahmin business. If we again come back to Chandalas, or Chandala means less than the Shudras. Even Shudras, they eat meat under control. But Chandalas, they eat meat without any control. So just like in the Vedic society, although there are meat eaters, they would eat meat after offering sacrifice to goddess Kali. Restriction. Because if you eat meat from the slaughterhouse, there is no restriction. You can go and purchase at any time. But if you follow the scriptural regulation, they say, yes, it is restriction, it is indirectly saying don't eat. But because this less intelligent person will not be able to understand, therefore they are giving some permission under certain restriction. This is restriction. That if you want to eat meat, then you must offer sacrifice to goddess Kali, and then you can. And the goddess Kali is worshipped once in a month. That means, by restriction, he will come to his senses, will be become. A Shudra, up to Shudra, there is possibility of raising him, he can see ideal character. It is not that everyone be ideal character like a Brahmin, that is not possible. But still, in the society, there must be an ideal person who is actually Brahman. The Shudra, this kind of business on the public street, just like cats and dogs, they have sex pleasure without any shame on the street. Similarly, the Shudras, they embrace the opposite sex in the public street, and sometimes they have got sex also. I have seen in Western countries, without any shame. So he saw this Brahmin's boy saw this young man, although he is qualified with the Brahmins, not exactly qualified, otherwise he would not have followed. He was on the neophyte stage. Therefore, we restrict no illicit, completely forbidden. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to keep oneself in the Brahminical standard and make a spiritual progress. Without being in the platform of Brahmana, you cannot make any spiritual progress. There is no Shudra, a Vaishya, but they can train them. Therefore Krishna says, Mani Patha Vipasitya Jevishu Papajumaya Sriya Shudra Tatha Vaishya Devi Janti Paranandati. In Krishna consciousness, a Shudra, a Chandala, the low born, he can be elevated to the highest stage of Vaishnava. Vaishnava is higher stage than Brahma. So, this boy, Ajamin, was passing, he saw that the Shudra was embracing another Shudrani. Drishtyatam kamaditena. When he saw that this man and woman is embraced with one another with lusty desire, embracing woman or man, this is kama, lust. There is no question of any other thing. Kamaliptena. Drishtvatam kamaliptena bahuna. The man was embracing the woman and the woman was embracing. Pariliptena. Very closely attached. Everything was going on. Then we have got lusty desire. Everyone's heart, hridroga kama. The material world means there is a heart disease, which is called kama. Hridroga kama. So, Ichha avasam. This is called impetus. If I see one engaged in lusty or sex affair, naturally my sex desire also becomes awake. Even though I am trying to control in the neophyte stage, still if I see in my form something lusty affair, naturally I will be inclined to touch. Therefore it is called avasam. You are students, brahmachari, practicing sama tama tattam saucham, was not very old man, was young man, but he could not control. That's why it is said, Ichchaya avasam. Avasam sahasaiva. All of a sudden, vimohita, he became very much attracted. So, this is the social condition. If in society we have no restriction, then naturally those young boys and girls, they will be inclined. And as soon as one is sexually inclined, he forgets all other culture and gradually becomes downtrodden, as we will see from the life of Ajahn. Although he was tender. Similarly, this is a warning to our students that they are learning how to become Krishna conscious. It is a very difficult job. To become Krishna conscious is not very easy thing. But by the grace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are trying to teach them, and it is becoming effective. Otherwise, how you all European and American could give up this whole sinful activities? So try to preserve. It can be preserved only by remaining in the devotional service. It can. Sagunan samatiptayitan brahma bhuyaya mantabhya vicharini bhakti yogina jasevati sagunan samatiptayitan brahma bhuyaya. As soon as you come on the platform of Brahma, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nasodati Natamti, then he will live. Otherwise he will not live. If you don't come on the transcendental platform, then you'll not be happy. So we have to stick to these principles, to keep ourselves on the transcendental platform, rising early in the morning, offer Mangalarati, then gradually one after another, attending class, Guru Puja, and so on, up to till you go to bed. You should always be engaged. Then you will be above these three gunas. Just like this boy, Ajay, he is attracted because all of a sudden he fell down on the platform of passion. There are three platforms, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. So if you keep yourself on the Sattvic platform, there is also chance to falling down on the passion and ignorance. But if you keep yourself in the Shuddha Sattva platform, Shuddha Sattva platform means devotional service. Sattama Visuddham Vasudeva Samvita. Shuddha platform means that is called Vasudeva. And Vasudeva can beget a child whose name is Krishna. Similarly, if you keep yourself on the Vasudeva platform, Sattama Visuddham Vasudeva Samvita, then Krishna will take birth. Krishna will take birth. So, our these rules and regulations, restrictions mean to keep one on the Vasudeva platform. You should remember all of that. And if you keep yourself on Vasudeva platform, these things will not entice you. Otherwise we shall be enticed and fallen down. Jadama hichayavasam sahasaiva mohita. Sometimes we go to hear or see Ras Leela. But unless we are advanced in spiritual consciousness, this hearing of or seeing some Ras Leela, sometimes it brings us down. If one is actually seeing Ras Leela, the result will be Ridrogu Kamam Apahvati Asivena Dhira. This is the injunction in the Srimad Bhagavatam. If one has actually heard from a realized person about Vikritam Idancha Brajavadavi Vishnu and Brajavadhu, the Gopi, Vikritam, their lila, their pastime, Saddhanyatha Sunyat Athavarnaya Jog. One who is actually advanced in spiritual consciousness, Saddhanya, Anusumya, and hears from the realized person. Anu means parampara, not from ordinary person, professional and disciple, but from a realized person. The result will be Ridrogokamam apuhinati. Then our natural lusty desires will disappear. That is the result. But instead of disappearing our this lusty desire, if we increase our lusty desire, that means we are spoiling our life. Therefore it is forbidden that neophyte students, they should not indulge in these affairs of Ras Leela. You should be very careful. People are very much accustomed to see Ras Leela in the now. Maybe they are advanced, but the tasting, whether he has given up his lusty desire, that is the taste. If he has given up then after seeing last Leela, he should not have returned to home. My Guru Maharaj used to say, do not go to Vrindavan, you return to it. So, therefore, it is very confidential. There are 10 cantos in Bhagavatam. 9 cantos are devoted to understand Krishna. 9 cantos. Then 10th canto begins, then Krishna's birth and pastimes are mentioned there. So we should not jump over the 10th canto all of a sudden. People are very much anxious to jump over the 10th canto. No, 10th canto is the Mukhavarana. It is the face of Krishna, smiling. But Krishna worship begins from the lotus feet of Krishna. Nobody offered flowers and tulsi on the face of it. They offer on the feet. That is the beginning. The first and second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam are two lotus feet. We have to go by and by, and when you are actually experienced devotional servant, then you try to understand the 10th canto. This is the way. Otherwise, there may be fall down, as this Ojami fell down. You are neophyte, and as soon as he saw the Sudra and Sudrani embracing, he became victimized. So he should be very brahmachari. There are so many restrictions. Even to see woman, a beautiful woman is going, let me see. That is also forbidden. That is also subtle sex enjoyment. Gross and subtle. There are so many subtle sex enjoyment to think of woman, to see a beautiful woman going on the street, or to talk about woman, to read about woman. There are 8 kinds of subtle sexual enjoyment. That is restricted. But in the Kali Yuga, it is very difficult to follow all the rules and regulations. One is not tender, even up to ripe old age, one becomes attracted by beautiful women, especially in the Western countries. I have seen in Paris, old man, 75 years old, 80 years old, they are going to the club. They are going to the nightclub. They are purchasing ticket to enter into the club, $50. Then they have to pay for the woman and wine and this way. So Hridaroga comes. This Hridaroga picture, the heart disease, is very, very difficult to avoid unless one is fully Krishna conscious. That is stated by Jamunacharya. Devotee mama chitta Krishna padara mindre lava lava thamaram kumashi devotee vatanari sangame smarjamane bhavati mukha vikara sustu nishti. This is the test. Devotee Krishna padara mindre. Since I have learned how to take transcendental bliss from the lotus feet of Krishna, he is experienced. He was an emperor. He had ample opportunity of enjoyment, material. You are enjoying, but he said, since I have become Krishna conscious, and I am taking pleasure in Krishna consciousness, from that time, Bhatanari Sangame Smarjamane. Whenever I think of union with woman, I spite on it. This is the test. This is the test. How I am becoming advanced. You do not require any certificate from any other. You can learn yourself. Just like when you are eating, you do not require any certificate from others whether I am feeling all right. Eating means you are hungry, so if you eat, you will feel satisfied, your hunger will be satisfied, you will be getting strength. These are the symptoms that you have eaten. Similarly, when you no longer be attracted by this sex desire, then you should understand that I am now making progress in Krishna consciousness. This is the test. Thank you very much.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th Canto, 1st Chapter, text number 63, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on August 31st, 1975, in Vrindavan, India.
Sannimitta smarabhyaja grahagrastha vichetasaha tameva manasadhyayam sadharma veer ramaha. The one word is very significant in this connection. Grahagrastha vichetasaha. Grahagrastha means ghostly haunted or influenced by bad star. Grahagrastha. Sometimes we are always grahagrastha in this material world. It is said by some Vaishnava, well, পিশাচী পাইলে যেন মতিচ্ছন্ন হয়, মায়াগ্রস্ত জীবের সেই দশা উপযোগ। Pisachi, ghostly haunted, or inspired by the witches, when one becomes so matichanda, he becomes bewildered and his intelligence becomes scattered. Matichanda. That is the condition of all living entities within this material world, in different degrees. Everyone is ghostly haunted. And what is that ghostly haunted? That ghostly haunted, Tan-nimitta smarabhyaya. This Ajani has seen one Shudra and one Shudrani was embracing, kissing, laughing, enjoying a lusty affair. So, he began Tan-nimitta by seeing these activities of the Shudra and the Shudrani. Naturally, the lusty desire is there, which I explained yesterday. It is called Vidruva Kama. This Kama, lusty desire, is a heart disease. So, you are infected by the heart disease. by seeing the scene, that one woman and man is embracing and kissing immediately. So the nature's law is so nice, or so perfect, that by seeing only you will be infected. By seeing. Prakite kriyamanani gunai karvani sarup. We are put into such a position that every moment we are being affected by the three modes of material nature. Prakite kriyamana. The Prakriti, the nature is working, so expert. Prakite kriyamana. And karanam gunasanga asya sadasad yonijam. In this way, our transmigration from one body to another, tatha dehantara prapti, it is due to the infection of contracting different material modes of nature. The whole world is going on. So therefore, our business of human life is how to protect ourselves from this infection of material nature. That should be the aim of human life. Not that allow us to be infected more and more and become implicated in the cycle of birth and death, sometimes lower, sometimes higher. This is not intelligence. The intelligence is how to get out of. In the lower animal forms of life, the nature takes care. Jalajanam lakhani samra lakhavinsati kirmayo rudra samkhata. From the aquatics to the plant life and insect life and bird life and beast life. Then we come to the human life, and that is also when we come to the civilized life. We should not waste our time like animals or lower creatures. Therefore, another important thing is that those who are born in India, Bharat Bhumi, they are to be considered the topmost. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said. Bharat Bhumite manusya janma hoila ja, janma sarthak kari karo karo. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Those who have taken birth in India, Bharat Bhumi, they should make their life perfect by understanding the Vedic knowledge. And the Supreme Lord Krishna comes here to teach the Vedic knowledge. He left Bhagavad Gita. Then Vyasdev developed the idea of Krishna consciousness from Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta Sutra into Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhāsayam Dharma Sutranam. So we have got this advantage, and we are giving us these advantages. First of all, the advantage is that we are born in India, and we have got the stock of knowledge left by great sages, rishis, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you are not taking advantage of it. How much foolish we are becoming by so-called education, we should understand that. It is grahasthas. We are thinking that our leaders are thinking that India becoming too much religiously concerned, they have poverty. No, that is not the fact. By Krishna's desire, by Krishna's will, everyone is provided. In the Vedas it is said, Ekoja bhuvanam vidhati kama. The Supreme Lord is quite competent to supply the necessities of life to millions and millions of living entities. There is no question of scarcity of supply. Ekoja bhuvanam vidhati kama. In the forest there are millions of elephants. Who is supplying them food? Krishna is supplying. So there is no question of overpopulation. Overpopulation, there is no question of if Krishna has overpopulation, he is competent to supply them food. But it is nature's restriction. When we become godless, the nature's trouble will be there. Just like the flood is going on in many parts of the world. So this is due to our sinful life. Nature is punishing. You cannot control. Nature is punishing. Why nature is punishing? Because we are godless. That is nature's business. The more we become godless, the more we will be punished by the laws of nature. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, you cannot survive. You make many scientific plans to overcome. It is not possible. Then how it is possible? Unless you surrender to Krishna, that is your business. Therefore Krishna openly says, Sarva dharmān parityajya māmekam saranam. The Ajami, he was Brahmin, undoubtedly, but he fell a victim to Maya. But you know the story of Haridas. He was a young man at that time, and one man instigated a prostitute, young prostitute, to deviate him, but she was unable. On the other hand, the prostitute became a Vaishnava. This is the difference between a devotee and a non-devotee. A non-devotee cannot surpass the stringent laws of materialism. But a devotee can do that. Because a devotee is not affected by the influence of materialism. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that Mācabhyavicharini bhakti yogena jas sevate sabunāna samasiddhayena brahma gurāya padma. Anyone who is strictly engaged in devotional service, he surpasses the influence of the laws of nature. Sabunāna samasiddhayena. He can surpass. Sabunāna samasiddhayena brahma gurāya. This is the only way. Otherwise, how these European and American boys and girls, they are living strictly under regulated principles. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication after drinking tea, and no gambling. How they can surpass? It is possible when one is a devotee, pure devotee. That is possible. So this is the example. The Ajami was trained up as a nice Brahman, but he was not still expert to become Vaishnava. Therefore, but still the seed of Vaishnavism was there, because a Brahmana is trained up how to worship Vishnu, how to worship Narayana. That is essential. This boy was also trained up how to worship Narayana, Vishnu, and it was beneficial at the last stage of his life. Salpamapi yasya dharmasya trayati mohato bhaya. Even if you practice little of devotional service, it can save you from the greatest danger of life that actually happened in the life of Ajami. So talking in this age, especially Kali Yuga, it is very, very difficult to save oneself from these infections of life. We have got already, we have come to this material world to fulfill our lusty desires. Naturally, whenever there is any lusty activity, our heart disease immediately becomes impeded, and the same thing happened to Ajami. And grahakasta vicheta, grahakasta, just like when we are haunted by a ghost catcher, then vicheta, we are lost of our consciousness, our intelligence. He became like that. Tameva manasa hayon. Then instead of meditating on Krishna, he began to meditate on the lusty affairs of the Sudra and the Sudra. Therefore in the Kali Yuga, the so-called meditation is the first, because we are always seeing this lusty affair before our eyes. Naturally, when we close our eyes and meditate, instead of thinking of Krishna or Vishnu, we shall think of woman and other things. Therefore, it is not possible. In the Kali Yuga, it is not possible. Kiteda dhyato Vishnu. In the Satya Yuga, it was possible. Meditation on Vishnu, not on other things. But now, in this Kali Yuga, we are infected with so many lusty desires that it is not possible. Therefore Shastra says, Kviteta dhyato Vishnu tretayana jagato makhai. You can realize Vishnu, because Vishnu is the ultimate goal of life. But we do not know that. Nati vidu sartha datinhi Vishnu. So, that Vishnu meditation was possible in the Kirti, in the Satya Yuga, when a man used to live for 100,000 of years. And then reduced. The next day, it is 10,000 of years. And then again, in the next day, it is 1,000 of years. And now it is reduced to 100. So therefore it is said that Kriteda dhyato Vishnu Kritayana jajato makhai. Dapari Paritajaya Kalotad Harikirtana. In the Kali Yuga, he performed perfect meditation by loudly chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. This is the recommendation of the Shastra. Not only one, but many Shastras. In the Bhagavad also it is said, Kalau dosa nidhi rajam asri rika mahanaguna Kitanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Raja. So, there are dangers in this material world. It is very dangerous place. Padam padam jada vipadam. Every step, not only spiritually, materially also. Suppose you are out of this temple, there is every chance you may be dashed by motor car and die. So it is dangerous. Padam padam jada vipadam. So our motive of life should be how to get out of this dangerous position of life. How to get out of it. That should be the aim. Not that to become more and more implicated with this dangerous situation of life. That is not intelligence. The intelligence is how to get out of it. That is this movement, this consciousness movement. How to get out of this dangerous position and go back to home, back to God. This is the mission. It is not that by spiritual advancement one gets material facilities to increase the income and increase the standard of sense enjoyment. This is karma-kanda. Karma to get the resultant action of our fruitive activity. And that is not very good. They are called mula. Those who are engaged in karma-kanda entanglement. They are called mula. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has commented on the word mula described in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Mula means kurmis. Kurmis, they work day and night, very hard. What is their aim? The aim is sense-getting. That is done by animals like dogs and hogs and asses. Nayam deha deho bhajam niloke kastan kaman arhadi bhujam. This is the recommendation, that this life, human life, now ayam deha niloke, in this, everyone has got a material body, but one has got a material body in the human society. Niloke. Kastan kaman na arhadi. You work so hard simply to satisfy the senses is not desirable. So modern civilization means that increase the activities of sense-getting. Especially, of course, in India still there are peaceful lands, but in the Western countries, from 5 o'clock in the morning, we see on the street thousands and thousands of motor cars. They are going to work. Thousands and thousands. And they will come at night. And this has begun also in India. We see in these big cities like Calcutta and Bombay, they are coming early in the morning from home and going at home at night, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and then sleep for 2 or 3 hours, and again go to work. So, there is a story that a little child, because when his father comes back, he is asleep. And when the father goes out of home, he is asleep. So, one night he saw one man, he is lying there. So he is asking his mother, who is this man? Who is this man? Actually, this is the position that we are watching, they are in Bombay and Calcutta, we have seen that they are hanging on the local trains, and there are some kind of accidents. So in this way, gradually we are coming to very dangerous pattern of living condition. With the age, with the advancement of this age of Kali, and it is said that for earning our bread, we have to walk like an ass in this world. And this is not civilization. The civilization that is really Vedic civilization, that ayama deha, nayama deha, niropi, kastan kama. We should make our life so simple and easy that we can get our necessities of life without any hard labor and save time to advance in Krishna consciousness. That is perfect. Thank you.
Next is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th Canto, 1st Chapter, text number 64. Given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on September 1st, 1975, in Vrindavan, India.
Svatoshayamasa pitrenathin javata grammai manoramai kami prasideta jathava. So, after seeing the woman, he was meditating always 24 hours about the subject, lusty desire. Kamastasya hitagyana. When one becomes lusty, then one becomes lost of all intelligence. The whole world is going on the basis of this lusty desire. This is material world. And because I am lusty, you are lusty, every one of us, so as soon as my desires are not fulfilled, your desires are not fulfilled, then I become your enemy, you become my enemy. I cannot see you are making very good progress, you cannot see me making very good progress. This is material. And here, lusty desires, kam, krodh, lobh, moh, matsarya. This is the basis of this material world. So he become, the training was that you are training to become a Brahmana, samagama. But the progress became checked on account of being attached to a woman. Therefore, according to Vedic civilization, the woman is accepted as hindrance to spiritual advancement. The whole basic civilization is how to avoid the woman. You do not think that only woman is woman, the man is also woman. Don't think that the woman is condemned, the man is not. Woman means enjoyer, and man means enjoyer. So this feeling, this feeling is condemned. If I see one woman for enjoyment, so I am man, and if woman also sees another man for enjoyment, she is also man. When woman means enjoy, and man means enjoy. So anyone who has got feeling of enjoyment is considered to be man. So here both sexes meant for the man or woman is bound up. Hridaya Granthi. Granthi means knot and Hridaya means heart. So the man is thinking of the woman and the woman is thinking of that. Hridaya Granthi Mama. Then we require material possession. Atat grihat chetu sutaku vittri janasya mohoyam ahanamameti. This is our material condition and life. So this man, although he was being trained as a Brahman, his attention was diverted all of a sudden by seeing one Shudra and Shudrani embracing, kissing, talking. So that became his meditation. Instead of meditating on Vishnu, he began to meditate on that Shudrani. Sameva, Tusayama. In the first part, Tannimitta smarabhyaja grahagasta vichita. He became mad, vichita, bewildered, as if haunted by ghost. Tameva manasabhyayon, always meditate. How shall I get that woman? How shall I please that woman? So that she may satisfy my nasty desire. Therefore, Tameva Tusayama, his only business was how to please her. Now, he required money, so he was not earning money, but Pitrena, whatever money he inherited from the father's earning, the son generally inherits father's property, that he was the only son, so he was squandering the father's money in that way, just to please that Shudrani. Tameva Tusayamasa Pitrena Arthena Javata, as much as possible. If he could get more money, then he would have spent them only for that woman. Grammai, Grammai Manoramai. This word Gramma is very significant. Gramma means external, material. Grammai Manoramai. By the sense gratification, whatever we find very pleasing, that is called Gramma Manoram. Actually that is not pleasing, that is entangling. But he became entangled. So Grammai Manoramai, Kamai, the basic principle is lust. Kamai prasidega, they wanted to satisfy the woman here and there as soon as need. We can see these examples very often. Then next step was Vipran Sabhadyam Prouram Kule Mahati Lambikam Visasajja Achirat Papa Soilinya Apanga Vidhi. There are three kinds of women. Kamini, Sairini and Pumschala. Pumschala. Sairini means free, freedom. Nobody is controlled. That is first point. And Kamini means to attract, very much attract. And another Pumschala. Living with woman, a man for some time, giving up, again another, and another. That is exemplified by the lightning. You have seen the lightning immediately, within a second, from this cloud to that cloud, that cloud to that. So, they are called Sairini. So three divisions. Similarly, there are divisions of men also. So this is the material world is very, very entangled. And if we become Krishna conscious, then we become free from this entanglement. All these criticisms or the divisions are there for Brahmoin. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has advised Gramma Katha na kahi. Bhalo na kahibe na bhalo na kori. This is Vairag. Don't indulge in Gramma Katha. Therefore we always advise, don't read newspaper, don't read any other book, because it is full of Gramma Katha. Gramma. So to avoid it as far as possible, there is no need. What is the news of a Gramma Katha newspaper? The same thing repeated. Here there is flood, where there is train disaster, where there is accident and political. One politician is doing speech, another politician is doing speech. These are the Gramma things. So we should save ourselves. Grammai Manoram. This externally very attractive news, we should avoid it completely. We shall simply talk of Krishna. That is the safest thing. We shall simply talk Krishna Katha. And Krishna Katha means what Krishna has said, that is Krishna Katha. Or what is spoken about Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita means Krishna Katha, what Krishna has said. And Srimad Bhagavatam is also Krishna Katha, because everything said about Krishna. So we should not indulge in Gramma Katha. That is misleading. And if we do not indulge in Gramma Katha, that is, if we make advancement on Krishna Katha, then we are always situated on transcendental position. We are no more affected by the modes of material. Saguna anu samakritta etana brahma bhuvaya. So we should stick to this principle. Then it shall be said. Otherwise, either I become man or woman, we are all condemned. Because we are implicated with Gramma Katha. Gramma Katha is Gramma. The temple is specially meant for Krishna Katha. Here there is no other business than Krishna. Therefore, a temple is always transcendental, nirguna. Nirguna. If you live in the forest, that is Satoguna. If you live in the city, that is Rajoguna. And if you live in the brothel or liquor house or gambling house, that is Tamoguna. But if you live in the temple, that is Nirguna. Trayunna Vishaya Veda is Trayunna Bhavad. This is the advice of Krishna. The whole world is complicated with the three modes of material nature. And you have to become above this